Didn't think we'd make it here. We thought sAw had this one wrapped up and done, but not the case. It will be Eyeballers to take us to a third map of Vertigo. A really solid map for sAw, though. It's going to be a very difficult affair if things are to be believed statistically, but Eyeballers going against statistics in the previous one, so we'll see how this looks for them. Julie's up close and personal, looking for all the frags. It's Sapek to shine through once again, and he finds 3 on the Julies.
On fire. This guy has really just been lighting up the server since Ancient. It's all been going his way. That is a fantastic round once again. Eyeballers so far this series on pistol has been so clean as well. Take a look once again. His ability to isolate fight is just so easy. And you can really see the cluttered comms coming through from sAw as well. Problematic. No bomb plant, no real kills means, well, no real money over towards sAw. Going to be a nice, comfortable full buy for Eyeballers. And not all that much brought to the table. Head spotted over towards ramp, though. That nade could do a little bit of damage. But it will be avoided for the most part.
Yeah, they're just trying to get a feel of how things go here on the side of sAw. Feel your opponent out, maybe get a sense of their default setup. This would be a tough run. They managed to pull things back a little bit on the CT side of things. They actually start on the T side here, so not going to have that benefit around. Like I say, we're expecting big Eyeballers. I don't think they really care. They play how they feel like, and like the previous, they'll have a few individuals taking over. Once again, Shine goes through. It'll be Flusher to clean up house behind him, and the second round comes easy.
Very comfortable for the most part at the moment. I have to wait and see how things continue to play out. But I mean, for Eyeballers, that continued confidence has been carried over from Ancient. I think for sAw, we do get a little bit nervous and kind of a bit uneasy. Oh, well, I think it's going to continue. Oh, well, I guess start the way they started over towards Ancient. Like you mentioned, T-side start over there. Didn't go well. Only got 3 rounds the entire half. T-side start here in Vertigo. You'd assume off the back of them losing the knife, are things going to look a little bit shaky around the edges? Let's see. First full buy. This is the big true test.
If Eyeballers can get their claws in the same way, you know, it really could be scary. So, yeah, true test indeed, I think. They've got the mid-area completely open. Pepsil's going to go for a peek. He's going to lose his life. Not expecting them that far up at all. We'll see. Flusher on the site with the MP9. Left to deal by himself. Can't get it done. That's going to be the B-bomb site falling. And probably an insta-save here from Eyeballers, in fact. As the contact out middle works for them. That's something they worked on in the previous round, right? They sent a player out with a P250. I believe it was Muterius in the previous round. And he just found no one there. Called on all the forces to come and join him, and then we saw what happened in the end towards the CT area, right? They did get mowed down, but they found a hole in the defense, and that hole remains in this round. So, sAw with a cheeky, risky contact out middle, but they had good knowledge of the setup from Eyeballers to work around, and indeed, therefore, put together a really well thought out little push.
Yeah, that's it. Well, for Eyeballers, I guess the silver lining is not all too expensive. Double M4's been saved over. That one FAMAS 2, they can fly around it. And that is just a bonus round as well. Granted, they don't get anything with that bonus. No kills, bits of damage. But it is one of those ones where you're hoping for Eyeballers, at the very least, a couple of kills. Just to kind of make the economy over towards the T side not all too conclusive. Doesn't happen. Either way, of course, full buy for them. Back in towards round number 4. Was just the bonus. They have plenty of cash left in the back pocket. So, got him 4-1 FAMAS. No AWP in play either side just yet. But notoriously, Vertigo is very difficult for AWPers. And a lot of people talk about how they just don't enjoy AWPing at all. Prefer to take out a 5 rifle. So, could potentially be the case here. Either way, only Utah. On towards ramp. JW looks like he wants to take first contact. He will just fall back over towards sandbags.
Ooh, Sapek going to take a lot of damage early on here, and sAw won't be knowledgeable of that fact, but the early damage, something they very much struggled, you know, against the CT side of Eyeballers. All the aggression that came in from them on Ancient was highly successful. So sAw will be trying to deny them those early frags and just work it into the late round setups. Looks like it's going to be a B hit. They will be thwarted by a smoke. Still looking to get a bit cheeky, maybe above this smoke as well. Flusher's got to be very careful. Nearly loses his head. They're contacting in once again. Very aggressive and very heads-up play coming through from sAw here. They will lose out on the man advantage. Trades still keep coming in. All a bit wild and wacky around here on towards this B-bomb site. The Eyeballer's going to lose the advantage, though, as Story continues with this aggressive position towards the generator. I'm going to go down, and there's no way, surely no way Eyeballers get through this kind of a setup.
Hazel's locked in, right? Unless JW can work a bit of magic. He needs an opening kill. He's been spotted out. Materials, easy kill for him. Bit of information. Was enough. Shine should be able to trade, and will. So, good old silver lining. With 33 points of HP. Surely not. Surely not. But maybe. Hang on a second. Roman's taking a lot of damage himself. He needs to be careful. Time is on the tick. And he does have a kit to work with. It all comes down to the fine margin. Looking for a head. Desperately trying to find it. Not going to be given all too much. Does he have time? I think he might just about squeeze it in. It's going to be mighty close. But he just gets it. And Shine pulls off a 1 versus 3 to get him a quad clutch. Wow. Fair play to Eyeballers. I felt almost lost.
Yeah, it looked that way, and sAw just giving the fights across at the opportune moments. Really messy stuff from them. They do get caught with their pants down for sure on that B-bomb site, and they will be absolutely kicking themselves. Eyeballers with the return round is massive. And again, looking to bring their A-game, looking to get those individuals activated. Shine was not quite as high as sAw, but he was one of the other names that really took over the game in the early stages on Ancient. So we're looking to him again to try and do something similar, and a clutch like that is really going to give the morale boost that Eyeballers will be looking for, and you can see textbook aggression coming through again. JW is going to be tagged. He's going to be left on 3 HP, in fact, so he has to bail out of the hold, unfortunately. Leaves sAw to his own devices towards the bottom end, and there's the find onto sAw from Story. Wallbang through smoke, just playing around his angles. He knows what might be up, and a big frag found for sAw.
Wow. Now, what's the plan of action? Numbers in favour of sAw. How do Eyeballers claw this back in their favour? And it looks like it's stairs, which is going to work in their favour. Pepsaw dropped easily. Pop Flash coming through as well. Flusher wants to reclaim the space. 52 points of HP. My Cash Materials, they spot each other. This one already done, surely. With that double stack there, that crossfire locked in place. There's just no way. Eyeballers, if they don't find an early kill, it should be an early save.
I would assume so. Shine's still holding towards the headshot angle, and he's been smoked off, so he can't really do anything with this. Just going to try and spam through, find a lucky headshot. They are cutting sound, cutting noise. Flash comes round. There's no one out in the open, though. Really well put together from sAw to make sure that there is absolutely no way back in for the Eyeballers. And as you said, if an early frag didn't come in there, they would just move to save. That's exactly what they go for. And sAw back on the board themselves. They might be able to facilitate a buy on the Eyeballers side of things if everyone survives, but it's not a great look to get returned on like that.
No, not at all. Not bad from sAw, though, at the very least. Keeping this one a lot closer at the start. We already looked back towards Ancient about how that one escaped them so quickly. That's much better. Just really giving them at least enough to work with in terms of, I get a bit of confidence. We'll see. For the likes of Eyeballers, the big thing is that 3 remaining alive. They can drop over. It's going to be a little bit janky, but at the very least, kind of Pepsi and sAw can pick up armor, and then they can get some sort of a drop over. It might even just come down to upgraded pistols if they want utility. But I'd expect, knowing Eyeballers and knowing them on 1.4k, where they're basically going to be playing a double eco anyway, you may as well force buy in. So it's kind of a question of how are they going to force buy in? Well, we'll have to wait and see after the pause. But not bad. Good response to sAw, especially considering they lost that 1 versus 3 prior. They just needed to come right back out in towards round number 5 and just come swinging. And exactly that, keeping that deficit to only the 1 round. As for buyouts, as expected from the T side, open play, of course, for Story. We'll see what he can wield with it. And he should be, for the most part, pretty uncontested when it comes towards those long-range fights. I can't expect all too much on the M4s. It would have to be only sAw and that AK, who can maybe cause a bit of an issue. Still, pause done. Full buy coming out to double MP9, in fact, in play. Flusher loves that MP9, though. He makes it really sing. So, still a world in which there could be a bit of a problematic round for sAw. Either way, deficit only at the 1.
I do like the timeout coming in, I would imagine, from the Eyeballers side to just really show the respect across to sAw. They understand that this is going to be a tough battle for them. They have to be realistic about it. sAw have a lot of reps and a lot of success on this map, so Eyeballers with the tournament life on the line really bring in an A game, which is something that we sometimes see just overlooked by the Eyeballers, right? It was something we talked about a bit earlier, and we saw it on Inferno, where they can just kind of check out and, you know, some of the individuals start making decisions that are not conducive to a solid game, to a good game. And I think they now know that it's like, wow, okay, we can really bring it to these guys. We can individually match up, so let's make sure we have more of that into this map.
Vertigo towards ramp. So far, nobody really taking any sort of considerable damage. That's a great flash. Roman, if you peek from the back, he's managed to something. Back turn, easy for sAw, but easy for Just to trade him out. Still, sAw stays alive over towards Ali, and he's got to the bomb too.
Does get denied eventually. sAw, meanwhile, up close, baiting his teammate out. Gonna have to find a couple from here, and they peek at the same time. Damn. Really could have had one of those. Really could have turned the round upside down, but he trained in on the AWP. He needed to be on the AK. It's going to be flusha remaining against two of them here to clutch up. One plant comes in. He throws the Molotov down. There's a smoke on top of it. Will cancel the plant, at least for now, but there's no way in for him here with this smoke hanging about. It will fade. They start to question where he's at, but they've got a pretty hefty smoke wall to work with themselves. flusha gets on top, takes down the AWP, tap onto the bomb, going to force the peek from Mutiris. Knows where he's at, but Mutiris has got so much ground to play with here. Able to drop back pretty easily with a tap onto the bomb to force the peek, but Mutiris finds the head cleanly for sAw. And a key round goes their way. They manage to battle back from sAw's stellar hold, it has to be said. And somehow they come out on top of the exchange.
Especially considering as well, things were looking, you know, a tad rocky, let's call it. It wasn't exactly the most locked in from sAw at times, considering that sAw double came through, considering it was still very messy over towards round. But in the scrappy rounds and the chaos, sAw are making themselves very, very well known. Of course, heading in towards round number 7 for Eyeballs. On the back of losing that one, it is just going to be pistols. 1 P250, quad USPS. This should be a very comfy round for sAw to put by the wayside. I can't really see it being all too expensive, or it shouldn't be.
Nice double nade to see off sAw. Always a good start into rounds like this that you find the early frag, so can't complain too much. Return aggression from the CT side, and an off angle from Shine will see the death of Roman. That's an AK drop then, and any damage is good in a round like this. Eyeballers will be pretty happy with the fact that they're able to at least find one. He will drop. flusha trying to play a cheeky angle, but no one coming his way. They're just sticking to the range game here on the sAw side.
Well, we'll see. P250 can be a problem in flusha's hands, especially up close and personal. They've got the numbers to work with. They shouldn't be all too scared about this. They're still taking it very slowly. They're so kind of cautious about Eyeballers being set up in that gamble stack. Little do they know, B-side is completely free. P250 in behind. A little bit messy through story, but flusha will fall, and so will sAw. So only the one casualty, only Roman falling. Not all too bad, to be perfectly honest. sAw will claim a lead in their favor, and now things start to maybe swing the other way. sAw, if they convert against the fullback coming through here, they could really cement the kind of momentum of the economy swinging in their favor quite nicely.
Would be a good sign. Eyeballers, of course, they did find one rifle round, but it was off the back of a 1 versus 3 clutch, so their general game has not been all that great. So they'll be looking to answer back in their own right. You know, they need these rounds. They need to prove that they can do it for themselves, and to just put a bit of fear of Eyeballers into sAw. Fear of the flusha, maybe. Nonetheless, a nice little start there as Just does eat a nade for good measure. A very quiet start from sAw, though.
Right now, not a lot being given up. Oh, posted. Looking for something. Pixels to work with. Taking a pop shot story. Gets mighty close. And sAw, he's dancing with the devil a little bit. He's looking to play aggressive here. 2 players double stack coming through. Pop shots from Story getting so close. He's so unlucky not to get a kill, but if he jerks to find the first.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Shine. Oh, looking for the trade. He's not committing to it, though. Joke's going to molly him out. Does go for the fight and loses it, however. So that will be a pretty big deal for the eyeballers. We've got JW tucked in, and he has played super safe so far. They're not quite ready for him. Molotov comes in, but Story's head is too small. He can't find it. And thus, the man advantage for sAw and maybe control of the site itself. Nice find onto the low HP Shine. Down he goes. And things looking very, very good there for pepsAw. The last line of defense, he's smoked off, and they know where he's at. They know that he's close to the action and might be trying to get giddy here. Molotov comes round. He's trying to find a frag. He comes so close to so many, but just can't get one over the line. And now flusha left with it all to do. As he finds that first, I would say it's not impossible, you know. But he doesn't know that, and he's just going to back away.
Yeah, he's given up. I think it is probably the sort of smart way to play this, but having an M4, it's good, but it's not great. So it's a very important round, and by fine margins, they find it too. But all that matters. By sAw collecting it, they once again start to cement this lead in their favor quite comfortably. But most importantly, just keep that economy at bay. Just getting sprayed down. He gets very close to the mark as well. Will not happen. And we'll be sAw up to that 2-round lead. Very nice. I don't think Flush is going to have all too much support, may I say, coming through from eyeballers. The money across the board is, for the most part, just completely shattered. He might be able to drop over maybe a couple of pistols, but even then, off by for eyeballers. Lost bonus completely built up to a 3.4k. But for sAw, they're starting to really cement themselves on the C side. It's much better.
Find from Roman on the spam, gets a little lucky, but he'll be happy to just come away with a frag and again ease the pressure into a round like this. They see some utility come out, they might be a bit worried, they might be a bit concerned as to what's on the other side of the equation, but at the moment, eyeballers, not too much to speak of. flusha holding B, they're trying to go for a B lean here on the eyeballers side of things and hope that the bomb ends up there eventually, but it's not going to be the case here. JW trying to get his hands onto an upgrade of the Deagle, and he will get it eventually. Smoke goes down. I don't think that's really going to smoke very much off. It looked like it fell a bit through the map there. Either way, it is going to be some B presence from sAw. And this is a dangerous bomb site to approach right now.
Well, D-Day coming through. Should do a lot of damage towards the backplate. He falls away the right time, in fact. Gonna hit over towards B. There's 3 players here, so it's gonna get a little bit messy. The only one they really have to overcome is flusha and that M4. Do they spam out pepsAw? They are, and it takes a lot of damage to stay alive.
Could be big into the send here. However, he will be blinded up. flusha going to be dealt with handily. That was the player that you worry about. Shine gets one from quad, but nothing else coming in for the eyeballers. A really well put together round from sAw. I think they recognized that it could have been a scary one. They also recognize it's a chance to get this snowball going. It's getting bigger and bigger from sAw, and they've got plenty of money now to work with. They look really good in the rifle rounds. Eyeballers just cannot get in there. It looked like maybe they would have a chance at it at the top of the show, but unfortunately, they have fallen off quite substantially.
Yeah, that's it. Well, lovely work. Lovely work indeed from sAw. This is starting to be a pretty decent little setup coming through on the T side. Much better. Much more similar to what we saw on map number 1. Story, great opener. JW put the rest very quickly. Eyeballers starting to really feel the pressure now.
Shine continues to do just that, as he does have a number of frags. sAw with a ridiculous one through the smoke. So maybe we can get a few more individuals surrounding the team. The push in towards middle goes south. The pepsAw. Shine has to deal with it. flusha too many targets. As well to even find one, to be honest with you. Shine nearly overwhelmed up close. Tries to get aggressive. Doesn't work for him. Down he will go, and the bomb plant should come in momentarily. And now it is just sAw. Maybe he gives this one a shot because they need the rounds. And clutching on B is certainly a doable prospect. Going to spot out one at close gen. Mollies him out. The AWP ready to go. All missing shots, but just up close will find the finish. And that's yet another round for sAw. A bit more stressful there in the mid-round, but they again get it done. Eyeballers very quickly running out of room.
They got very close. Very close indeed. However, what matters most, once again, sAw starting to pull further and further away. It's a really nice little setup coming through early doors. I mean, sAw, they're controlling the tempo really well. They're forcing eyeballers to burn a lot of their util very early into the round. When it comes to retakes, they struggle. And of course, the numbers game is always going in favor of sAw. So good at finding the opening kill, using the numbers in an advantage, and just quite simply playing the trade game. It's fundamental Counter-Strike. The highest level right now, that 4-round gap might not feel all too big. In the grand scope of things, for the T side of Vertigo being slightly problematic at times, it means a lot. And of course, over towards Eyeballers, they are going to have, once again, a very uncomfortable buy in towards round number 11. So, just the pistols for them to work with. Even getting in towards armor isn't something that the entire squad can go for. This 8th should, perfect, to be perfectly honest, going to be locked in here. They should guarantee that lead at the half.
One would expect such. Oh, double nades. Roman was nearly on the business end of those. Takes a fair bit of damage for his trouble, but he's just indeed being troublesome out towards the bottom end of ramp right now. The rest of the team going to join. It's a later take from sAw, it would appear. Oh, Deagle finds a line. Looking for another opportunity at a heady, but not quite giving it. Going to be Pepsor towards middle that finds one, though. This gets very interesting now. He's upgraded the rifle. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Flash comes round. You'll see what Shine can do with it. Not very much, unfortunately. They have to return on a couple frags here, and they have to do so cleanly. JW, P250 up close. Flash comes round, but JW finds the frag, and the round is ramping up. 2 remain for sAw. Eyeballers look set to steal away a cheeky one.
Yeah, looks like it. On their story, just to pull off a bit of magic, Deagle will find another kill. Lovely from Flusher. Looking for more damage onto our story. He's so low now. Surely all she wrote. 1 versus 3, 28 seconds. Was up close to personal Sapex. And a monstrous previous map. A little bit quieter here. But I think at this range, 1 bullet with Eagle anywhere in the body should be fine. It goes to the headshot and lock it in. Great round for Eyeballers. They needed something to alleviate a bit of that pressure. Needed a bit of magic. And they'll find it. Up to a 4th, but still a lot more work for them to do before we even become remotely comfortable over this CT side. And sAw still looming over guaranteeing that lead at the half.
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying here. Eyeballers back with a vengeance, and they might just be able to spin this into a lead. However, Ujerks has got different ideas as soon as I speak. He will be traded, but they're going fast. They're going aggressive. sAw not pulling any punches, rolling into this round. They're going to take control of the B bomb site. Flusher was expecting more out from mid, but no, it's B. And the site has fallen completely. I don't even know what is really going on here. The bomb is very, very late into this. I don't think they believe how lucky Just has been to get in this deep. And with him this deep, with there being no information, with there being no presence at all, and a frag from Story, importantly, I think the save from Eyeballers has to be called.
Yeah, looks like it. They are just going to park up over towards ramp. Nothing they can do here. sAw have their couple of hiccups here and there. Their couple of moments where they have a lapse in concentration, but they claw it back very quickly. This has been the story of sAw. They've kind of, for the most part, always been in control of this game. It's really good to see. Fantastic work all over. You look towards Eyeballers. Really got to question this side. They're just a little bit shaky. Never really all too confident to take too many fights because they know once they lose that man advantage, they're always going to struggle in terms of controlling the map, and it happens each and every time so far. Heading to the latter stages of this first half in the 3rd map, the decider. sAw locking in a lead at the very least, and the way they're playing, it should be plenty more, to be perfectly honest. It's great work. It really is. There's a real world in which we can see sAw get up to double digits before Eyeballers can really respond.
Well, we'll see. They've got to respond in this round. They've got to keep things the very least possible, right? sAw flying ahead on the T side. They continue to find those return rounds, make sure that Eyeballers can't get any consistency rolling. Nades go down. They actually do a bit of damage. They could have done big damage. One of them didn't quite make it in. The lineup not sound enough. sAw up close. Flash comes in for him. Oh my god, look at all this smokage towards the bottom end of ramp. sAw comes away with 2. What has just occurred? A 3 versus 2 now as the trade comes back round, but Shine going to give them the space that they so desire, but it has cost them so very much to get it. And my god, what a messy exchange that was at the bottom end of ramp.
Well, now what is the question, right? We're looking at this sAw side. Numbers not in their favor. Roman taking a lot of damage too. Something miraculous to make this one work in their favor. They've cut noise, pumped the brakes, slowly making their way over towards ramp. What's the idea from here? What's the plan? How are they going to make this work? Little do they know, the site itself, for the most part, is pretty clear, but the rotation's pretty quick.
Well, it does pretty importantly come down to Shine. If he survives for a while, or if he is fended off, took an off angle, just going to beat him. 2 versus 2, smoking towards elevators. This is pretty good. This is really good. Just is in deep as well. Going to meet one in the smoke. It's just going to be down to him. The nade from Flusher saves the day. Ooh. Oh my goodness. That is, as you would say, fine margins there for the eyeballers, but they do manage to get it over the line.
Got mighty close. Very, very close indeed. But in a messy, chaotic, scrappy affair in towards lower ramp, it goes in favor of eyeballers, and now they lock in a 5th round. And they're just going to limit how much success sAw get away with. For the most part, it has been what seems like a pretty dominant performance from sAw. Eyeballers are still keeping them in arm's reach, and that's all that matters. They can limit how much control they get on the T side. Who knows? But just to be said, whenever there's hiccups, whenever there's lapses of judgment coming through from sAw, they're quick to answer back. Once again, Story finally opening. JW to answer back.
Not a bad trade, to be fair. They definitely needed that one. They are aiming to bring this as close as possible. I would say 8 on the T side from sAw is already a hell of a half, so they need to pull back as much as they can. Story catches JW going hunting. sAw then, the last line of defense on the ramp, up close and personal. Roman very ready, and Roman will get the better of him quite easily there. Into a 4 versus 2. sAw once again making sure they keep the consistency away from eyeballers. It's very, very important to the campaign of their T side. And they just keep them rolling, keep them coming, making it look easy.
Yep, so far. Oh, so slow off the back of eyeballers being down to just 1 in the penultimate round for Shine. It's kind of a question of, does he want to give it a go? Does he want to lock in having an M4 in towards the next round? The only thing for him, may I say, is that he just doesn't have any information. He still could be over towards A. Little does he know. He is slightly walking in towards danger. There's a flank coming through as well. Roman should be able to catch him, surely. Shine shift walks his way forward. Here's the first fight, and he will lose it. 9 locked in for sAw heading into the final round of the half. The question is, of course, now where they lock themselves in towards double digits, and with a slightly worrying economy over towards eyeballers, it looks like a pretty large possibility. For the most part, the buy is going to be pretty janky for the eyeballers side. Double MP9, 5-7, and JW himself will go into get another MP9 to alleviate a bit of the pressure. But it's only Pep Swords have any sort of kind of comfortable rifle in this round. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, not going to be very nice at all. So we'll see if they've got anything in the back pocket. You know, a sneaky little round. That seems to be what they're coming through with. Pepsor just taking a dry swing and winning out the fight. Takes Roman down. Molotov of Shiny goes flying in. Will give his life away, however. Not a bad nade. Maybe the follow-up to be there. Pepsor thinking about it. U-Jerks has closed the gap here. Who's going to get the drop on who? And it's U-Jerks that falls. Yorp has to trade. Can't find the flick. Sapex picked up Mutirius. Eyeballers have definitely picked up the heat towards the tail end of this first half. Yes, they have lacked consistency, but they made sure that sAw have also done the same towards this portion of the game. So it's really valuable stuff coming through from Eyeballers, I think. Very, very key rounds being picked up. When the pressure is on them, when it's like, okay, this is a break of the economy incoming, they manage to answer. And therefore, sAw's lead has been brought down to what looks to just be 3. Unless this guy goes absolutely crazy, which somehow I do indeed doubt. Sapek takes him down. That's 9-6 at the turn of the half. Is it enough? Is it enough for sAw? The big question. We'll find out. So far, the most even round of Counter-Strike that we've had throughout this series. It has been a half that sAw, yes, indeed, managed to get themselves a lead, but is it enough to work with? We've had some pretty hefty halftime leads so far throughout this one, and yeah, it felt like both maps were over at the turn of the half. This one feels like it is totally up in the air. Comes down a lot to the pistol. It looks like Eyeballers have got an idea over towards the side of things. Sapek to find the first. The trade is there. Utility coming in. Mutirius trying to get to a different spot, trying to drop back and just play a little aggressive, in fact, to find the frags, find the information. Goes prodding and poking for it on his USP. The smokes come round, and this will keep the CT side at bay. Should allow for a bomb plant. Still going to be a difficult one. There's a lot of bodies to get through on that sAw side of things. The Julie's retrieved by JW. Don't do an awful lot. Bomb going to go down. No kit available, importantly, for sAw. So time of the essence starts to work against them. They're going to go flying in. A little bit of a goosh for pepZaw. Can he get any more? No, he can't. He's going to get taken down. Down goes Shine. It'll be Flusher and JW, the veterancy of the team, to hold strong and win the all-important pistol. They can't get it done. Not a single frag comes in on the post plant for Eyeballers. And that means that we will see sAw stepping away with what could be a hefty lead.
Yeah, and that was the big one, right? For Eyeballers, we're looking at, and they had to take that pistol just to keep the conversation open, just to keep this kind of, I guess, the game slightly in their favor. We know that their pistol success rate has been pretty high. So overall, you're thinking, okay, maybe you might see something come through. But it all fell south. And now for sAw, they can really start to run away with things if they convert this round. Of course, the big thing for Eyeballers is that bomb plant has given them some cash to work with. So a triple Galil on Tech 9 for Flusher. A scout coming through for JW. This is the round. Win out this force by whoever does really get the early part of momentum for this second half. And it could really flip towards Eyeballers still.
Yeah, we'll see. Roman be kind of locked away over here, so it does have to be careful. Molotov comes in. Ujerk's trying to take a peek. He's going to take a nade instead. Doesn't really meet the mark there. Whoopsie, but he is under pressure, I suppose. Going to go peeking in. Finds a quick double. Absolute madman. There's no trade attempt from Roman. He's going to eat a nade for his trouble. They know exactly where he is, but he's just able to hold the line here so effectively. They're going to throw a smoke on top of him on the CT side to just keep him there. The support comes in, the flash comes round, they're both so blind. The frags will go the way of Eyeballers, though. The aggression's not worked out. Story survives on 1 HP, for goodness sake. So what happens now? Mutirius has managed to creep in towards the sandbags area. They're going to try and rotate as quickly as they can towards this B side of things. And, well, they're going to meet Story, and he's not very healthy at all. So this really could go the way of Eyeballers if they find this first frag cleanly. But Story holding the off angle. He's not even being spotted. Right in the head of one. Might even get another. Oh, he comes close. He's set it up, though. It should be all good. Should be all good for Mutirius here. Unless Flusher can pull off the impossible once again. We saw some clutches out. A bit of damage down. He's going to fake the bomb. Draw in Mutirius. Try and find this headshot. Oh, my goodness. They're both so incredibly low. Pistol out, but he swaps round for a reload, and the bomb plant will come true this time. Flusher, can he guess the right side? I don't think so. He's not expecting Mutirius on the left, and the spam comes through to save sAw from embarrassment. But goodness me, I'm sweating, so I can't believe how they would be feeling.
Mighty close indeed. All that matters, of course, is locking that in their favor. The force by winning out is really important. Of course, it will mean that Eyeballers once again, though, do have that money to work with. The bomb plant, plus now the kind of ever-growing, slowly but surely lost bonus as well. Arguably, it might be a better buy over towards the Eyeballers side. AK, double Galil. JW in towards a scout. In fact, in pepZaw, he might even go for a Galil himself. No, has the AK. So actually not all too bad. For sAw, though, a little bit shaky. And they have looked a little bit shaky in the CT side so far. Nobody really getting control of this game just yet. Eyeballers can continue to force buy just because of that bomb plant. And sAw will know it. So you can see them playing a little bit on the more passive side here. Don't want to be taking too many early fights. There he comes through. Only a little bit of chip damage.
Such a dangerous buy from Eyeballers, though. I don't know if I'm a fan of it. I think it just gives sAw so much control if they win this round. Yes, you've got to have the confidence in yourself, but you maybe have to be realistic as well. What can you get done with a lack of utility on Vertigo? It's very difficult to get going, and they've lost the fight towards mid. Roman drops JW. There is an opportunity onto Ujerks, but can't even convert that one. Roman Potentially caught reloading here. I think he's savvy to the fact that there could be a player up close. sApek still finds the frag, though. A lot more to be done from the likes of sApek and flusha if they are to achieve anything in this round. So far, it is just an opening kill to make life a bit more difficult for sAw, but you can see the A-bomb site becomes incredibly well defended in a short space of time. What can they do with this? sApek has gone walking in, and this is pretty much all they're relying upon, is if this guy who's retrieved an M4 can find anything from the side there. Hoping a flank comes in. It's not really going to happen for them, and now the rifles go creeping in together, and he can't find a single head. Big round for sAw, and a big round for Eyeballers to be losing really starts to sell the story for this half.
Yeah. I mean, this is the more damning one, isn't it? Because what we've seen in the previous couple of rounds was, yeah, Eyeballers have lost them, but at least got the bomb plant. They made it expensive. They made it very close. This one wasn't close. It was an absolute blowout. No bomb plant, only the one casualty. That's what it's about. sAw commanding a lead in their favor, and commanding as well that over towards Eyeballers, they are just going to struggle economically. That's the case. At 12-6, it's already starting to get pretty concerning, to say the least. We're looking at this now and getting a little bit on the more worrying side. I'll have to wait and see how things pan out, but things aren't feeling all too good.
Nice nade to kick off. JW going to be left incredibly low. Run boost sAw. It looked like he failed it for a second there. Will make it around. It's not really going to do too much, though. Just he does find that double. He does keep the space here for the side of sAw. Rotations are in. Frags keep coming. And the half buy that we didn't expect too much out from is so far delivering. Not a single frag goes the way of Eyeballers. Looking like they might just be down the barrel of the defeat on this one. We're really going to have to see them turn it up to 11 on that dial if Eyeballers are to stay alive here in the lower bracket of the EU playoffs.
Yeah, things are really not looking all too good right about now. There is a lot to like over towards sAw. We mentioned about how this map statistically is so strong for them. And I think it also just shows just maybe how limited the Eyeballers map pool is, right? A little bit on the more shallow side in comparison to sAw. A great opportunity that Eyeballers opened up for them by taking out Ancient. The fact that they go to this map, the sAw have only lost one of the last 10 performances. Horrible predicament of them to be in. And then once again, a kind of a so close yet so far scenario.
flusha. Going to eat some tags and eats a nade as well. Not a perfect start for him HP-wise. He is just this lurking presence out towards B, though. What are they waiting for on the Eyeballers side? Maybe a pick for JW, but a refresh of the smoke makes that very difficult. You jerks up close. Roman to back him. It's a pretty decent setup. They do have a lot of utility remaining on the Eyeballers side to try and fight back in. But again, a refresh of the smoke makes life very difficult. They're going to try and get aggressive off the back of that one. Force a fight from Roman, but he wins it. JW on the AWP, down to 30 HP. This is really not a good start for Eyeballers. They cannot find the early pick that they so desire. Maybe I spoke too soon as flusha drops just on the opposite side of the map. Mutiris is a little worried about mid, and he would rightfully so be worried. Roman might just have spotted the player. Doesn't matter. pepsAw finds his head. flusha, good for one. Shine has to stay alive here after the bomb plant. Mutiris trying to find him. Flash comes round. It's so messy. The flank is there from U-Jerks to bail him out. It's all going to be onto pepsAw. They've got kits. They've got the man advantage. Can they find the frag? Yes, they can. And that will mean that sAw are just steaming ahead on this CT side.
It's starting to feel done. I don't know about you, but for me, this is looking so one-sided. I guess at times of what things look like over towards Ancient in favor of Eyeballers, but this one, just what a display coming through from sAw. Since coming on towards their CT side, their understanding about how Eyeballers are trying to set up their T-side rounds, really solid. The executes coming through from Eyeballers, pretty lackluster for the most part. Yes, getting bomb plants, but they're never securing those post plants. They're never set up. And everything looking oh so great right about now. 2 more rounds, all that sAw need to stay alive in the lower bracket. Of course, a lot more to be done, but it's feeling pretty damn good right about now.
Early nades going out. Eyeball is a bit more of a confident move from them on the ramp area. sApex managed to get in on the side. Mutirius has spotted him, though, so his position going to be up. pepsAw, though, and JW have found some space in towards mid. Oh, Story not ready at all. Will get taken down. Their mid completely open. They went aggressive towards B, and they just didn't really have a read on it. However, Just is still alive. Dealt with by JW, thank goodness. So we'll see. Are they going to go for the retake? It looks like it. They've got some players here pretty quickly. With the flash, they'll go peeking off the back of it, down to the 1 versus 1. It feels like to save the game for Eyeballers. Shine stands strong with an open angle and finds the head of U-Jerks to keep Eyeballers in the running.
Super confident for the youngster as well. That angle can come back to bite you. On our time, Eyeballers keeping it alive. And they will, of course, have some money to work with. Round 1, plus bomb plant, all of the good stuff. Plenty of cash. Same can be said over towards sAw, though. So once again, another one of those rounds like toward these swing rounds. Both sides of economies are down to more or less nothing. Win this, you get a very good amount of control. If sAw win it, it probably might be all she wrote. They might leave Eyeballers with no cash left to work with. sAw hit 15. This is the important one. You just playing around the smoke. This is so risky, but it might actually just work. sApex might walk into him.
We'll see. The old smoke bug needs to come out on top. U-Jerks, though, he jumps, he makes noise. Oh, he got off it. If he'd committed, you know, there was a fight there, but he just absolutely embarrasses himself. Egg all over the face. And sApex will be thankful for that frag. So a man down scenario for sAw to deal with. A pretty important round. Their economy can't handle a loss. So really looking scary right now. Eyeballers, you know, they are trying to battle back into the game, and these types of rounds are worth their weight in gold.
Well, very, very slow at the moment. What do we see coming through? Probably not all too much. Above, easy for him. Looking for more, and he spots the arm of one, and they just fall away. Numbers brought level, they're being hunted too.
Yeah, very quickly. They're not expecting it to be so fast. Roman nearly gets out of there, but will get taken down. Story's drop Shine. So we'll see 3 versus 3. Doesn't look too bad. Bomb plant coming in. What is occurring over here? Mutirius on the edge of the smoke, ready and waiting to burst through. Will manage to find one. JW still chiming in. 2 versus 2. Looking very good indeed. JW, tip of the head, spotted. He peeks out, just playing around at the moment. Not really looking for the frag, just trying to be a nuisance. Tap onto the bomb. It'll be the rifle that peaks first, the AWP straight after, and a solid find coming in. Eyeballers move up to 8. Looking very, very good indeed as sAw are struggling, and they will, as said, be down onto a low buy after that one. Not the best scenario to be in at all. So they will be kind of kicking themselves, I think, that they allow it to get to this. Eyeballers, so still got a lot of work to do. sAw at one of those score lines where you start to say the game has to be over at this point, and they look to just play the advantage as best they can. They're going to hard eco this one out, maybe get an AWP into the next round as Roman is a bit richer. But a difficult one to play around, of course, on the side of sAw. They are finding themselves a bit down and out. Either way, sAw will just play it very slowly, not too aggressive at all, looking to group up towards B and just eliminate a player if they can. Going to go flying in, but I think the hold will be sound enough here from the likes of Flusher. He's going to find himself an ace, maybe. Yes, he is. Lovely stuff on the eco from Flusher.
It's still alive, right? That's the main thing. We've still got a bit of fight coming through. 14-9. It's a long road to recovery. Let's not beat around the bush here, but the very hiccups, even one more, right? They get up towards 15. That pressure becomes so insurmountable over towards Eyeballers that you really get worried. And they might not have enough kind of left in the tank and left in the locker to make it work on the T side of Vertigo. Always very tough. Full buy. Also, Story pop shots with the AWP, not finding all too much success. Still trying to plug their way over towards ramp.
Just trading off utility at the moment. Nothing really showing. The AWP battle has been pretty... Ooh, telltale. sApex, a little lucky to be alive. Going to be left incredibly blind. U-Jerks goes peeking in for him. Does get traded, though. Not a bad move from Eyeballers coming through. They will now take that trade as the sign that they need to get a bit more aggressive. Up battle. It's JW to win. Story wasn't there fast enough. Roman going to try and go for the trade. JW misses the shot. Trying to get a quick one. Can't get it. Big frag from Roman. He stays alive at the side, but Shine will take him down. Eyeballers, there's a Molotov to stop them for now. What is the move here from sAw? Looking to get hyper-aggressive as the bomb goes down. Flash comes around, just will deny the planter. They weren't ready for him. They're not really ready for the trades. Muterius gives his life away, though. And it leaves just out in the open to clutch against two. It's damn close, but he can't get it done.
Oh, it's getting damn close as well. Eyeball is now up to double digits. They're slowly but surely creeping their way in. Individuals starting to come alive as well. This game's on. It really is starting to become quite the problem. I think sAw, before heading into his next full buy, needs to call for a pause. Actually going to call it now. I don't mind this. I just have a conversation. I don't think now is the time to buy, and I think it'd be very risky to full buy in here. But I think, you know, having a pause, having a conversation, bringing the coach in too, I think is a really, really kind of, you know, necessity, I guess you could say, over towards sAw, because things are looking a little bit shaky. They're starting to be put in their place. They're slowly but surely starting to be kind of overwhelmed. And Eyeballers, they've realized by stepping up the tempo, by going fast, taking the fights to them, they're able to really put this side under pressure. Now, round of 25, the buy for sAw, as expected, going to be on the minimal side. Just a couple of pistols. Nothing all too problematic. We'll have to see. Story just going for, well, the most part, is a bit of a full eco. Of course, he wants an AWP in play in towards the next. He wants to try and challenge JW, who is starting to come alive. It took him a while to really get in the game. He still is the bottom of the scoreboard, but he's doing enough.
Yeah, just about. I mean, keeping things kind of competitive on the AWP. He's opened up a good number of rounds, to be fair to him, and the previous one was a pretty big deal, the fact that he was able to find stories so early on into the round. But still not quite enough, in all fairness. sAw, though, get to a very scary spot in the next rifle round, don't they? This really does start to shake things up if Eyeballers can find that. They're not quite at 15 yet on the sAw side of things, so the rounds are eluding them. The kills are eluding them in this one, as pepsAw just makes mincemeat out of them. There's a team kill onto JW. Don't know what's happened there. That's kind of awkward. They will recover the AWP, thank goodness. But, yeah, a little funky.
Okay, well, we can still technically call that a flawless round, apart from that one Flusher team kill. You know, maybe just kind of rubbing it in. Flusher JW, of course, comrades for a long old time. Probably, you know, pushing on 10 years now, right? Technically speaking, of course. They've had their moments where they've gone away from each other, but 10 years ago. Old Fnatic days. Looking at Flusher as well, over towards stairs, hoping to try and make a difference over there. sAw really feeling the pressure. They had that pause. They had this conversation. Now is the time to make the actions kind of really come out. Number 26, if Eyeball is starting to breathe down the necks, this is the one where they have to find success. On spotter too, but a missed shot.
Dangerous peek for pepsAw, but he gets across. They're going to flash towards mid here. Oh my goodness, so many CTs stacked up. If the flash is good, this could be massive. Story's gone digging for information, though it will cost him his life. Flash comes round, just about able to survive. They're not ready for so many bodies, man. Big nade onto Sapek as well. Solidifies this 4 versus 3 for sAw.
It's a massive fighting towards me going their way. Not only does it find the numbers advantage, but just so much information too. You can just see. For Eyeballers, they are perplexed. What do we do now? Where do we go? We have lost mid control, so the ability to go for a split on towards the side, not a possibility. We have to win it out of this very, very narrow lanes. Justice going to fall away, though, off the B site. This is a little bit problematic. He's playing maybe a little bit too passive, and it could give him the site itself. If he buys time for the rotation, it's good enough, but if he caught by the flash.
Pretty late, though. Doesn't really do too much. Sapek going to make it across on towards the site itself. Just has to be very careful here. He comes round, does some decent damage onto his teammates, but the trades are going to be in from the sAw side of things. Just JW. He's got 2 to find, trying to isolate the fight here on towards Roman. Misses the no-scope. Can he get it second time around? Yes, he can. There's not enough time to get the bomb down, though. He thought he could find both. It's not the case. It's unlucky for him. Oh, and he goes down after time as well. Just insult to injury from Mutiris.
Just when things were starting to pick up, it all comes down to this mid-fight. I think it comes down to that attack pause they took, a round and a half ago. Really made the difference. Coming in towards this one, they had a formulated plan, and it worked. It does make you question if things did go sideways and towards that mid-take, whether the mid-rounding would have been enough. So they're all if buts and maybes. What actually matters is sAw take a 15th and they're 1 round away from continuing this lower bracket run. And of course, winning this means they would join K23 in the next round. So, very interesting. Eyeballers, they need to find some second wind if they want to push this in their favor. But it's map and series point in favor of sAw. And off the back of the pause as well, what's it going to look like? Thankfully for Eyeballers, they have money. Because there's a world in which if they'd lost the round prior, they would have been flat out broke. Not the case, so we're all good. Still, confidence must be at a bit of an all-time low over there. They've got to just try and claw something out of nothing.
Something out of nothing, indeed. Aggressive stance from sAw. So get aggressive towards the yellow area and going to try and find that opening frag. Trying to force the issue, I suppose. They do have the lesser weaponry coming into this round, so makes a bit of sense. No AWP as well. They've relied on Story to find opening picks in quite a number of rounds, so that's something that Eyeballers will have on them, is an AWP presence. And that can be very, very frightening indeed. You jerks. Aggressive angle here, bro. No flash for him. Molotov comes in, forces them to peek into him. He can't find the frag, but he sets up Roman. And he sets him up cleanly. A nice 1-2 punch. Left, right, good night. And it might just be the case for Eyeballers if they cannot battle back from this man's disadvantage now. Flusher going to drop the bomb right at the feet of Roman. They've got to work into him. JW with the trade attempt. Not going to happen as the smoke goes down. Roman has had a round, and it's all on to pepsAw.
It's done, surely. 1 versus 4. pepsAw is a brilliant young player, but this is asking all too much. The bomb down. The spam's coming through. You can see this young man. I think he's more or less giving it, pushing through, spam coming through, and Story will see it off. 2-1. sAw take the map and the series, and they continue their lower bracket run. They're meeting K23 in the next round, and of course, we have to say goodbye to Eyeballers.
Yeah, a well-fought battle, though, to be fair to you. Looking really good on the